want to get some answers to different issues as regards to the reforms that we see in today's education space. I want to welcome our CEO, Elyon Age, Madam Jackline Ngugi. Madam Jackline, with the advent of CBE, leaders need to rethink their leadership styles in order to realize value for the schools. In your view, these are our principals and our head teachers. What do you think? How can school leaders balance their day-to-day management with long-term visionary thinking? Karibu.
Thank you, Rose. To answer your question, most of the time, we've worked with schools in different administrative structures in line with just seeing how does leadership affect the quality of education and scaling for a school, as you have asked. And one of the areas we find a lot in line with principals, when you're employed, most of the time, you have a teaching background. You don't have a managerial background. But when you're now a principal or a head teacher, you need a balance of both, which is a principal teaching background and an administrative background. So how do you balance both of them to a place that you allow the school that you're working for grow? Delegation, I'll go to that. Because most of the schools, what we have is a lot of the principals or the head of institutions working most of the things, but they are not delegating or clarifying completely roles and taking an oversight. Why? With utmost reliance on you in the school, you cannot be able to grow that school to a place where it can get out of you, or you can train other people who can go to the other branches that you're working with. So delegation and getting to a place of oversight and understanding, how can I define if it's the deputy head, the sectional heads? How can I define to bring my leadership style to have a mind that this is for growing for the future? Yes.
Thank you. She says visionary leadership entails delegation. Thank you so much, Madam Jackline. I wish to take this question to Lukenya School. Schools will be categorized. Triple pathway, double pathway, depending on whether they offer all the three or only two. At Lukenya School, what strategic decisions have you made to ensure that CBE is a success in your institution?
Madam CEO, first, good afternoon. I'm Alfred Ngayai from Lukenya Schools, and specifically Lukenya Academy Primary School and the Junior Secondary School. With now the situation that we are in, no longer the new curriculum, but the curriculum, it is true that schools have to equip themselves to get ready for the new situation. We have been taken back to the former system before 844, probably in a different way, but really it is almost the same, whereby at some point specialization has to come to play for all the learners. And therefore, by the time we are graduating our students at grade 9, they must have looked at what they want to do in the senior school, and therefore to inform their career dream. That therefore has told the school you must do the following, and one of them is the ability to be able to prepare all the learners that have been brought to us to be able to take the path they want to take. And that involves infrastructure. You've seen, for example, the part that is talking about sports. You've seen the other one that is talking about STEM, which they will meet in senior school. And if we have not organized ourselves as a school to be able to provide this opportunity, these learners, we may have them proceeding to the next stage when they have really not known what they are going to do there. As a school, we have invested in that particular area of ensuring that these parts are clear in terms of infrastructure so that the learners can start interacting with those specific areas early in advance. Number two, it is the teacher equipping the software, that is the teacher now. The teacher we have must be able to offer that service, provide those skills to the learners. Well, junior school is supposed to be taught by graduates. Challenge was all over, that is true, but then if we have to survive in the market, we therefore had to have teachers who can teach in specific areas and prepare these vehicles. If it is tech, it has to be taught by teachers who are qualified in the area of science, just like IS. And even in the sports, it is no longer what we would now say just PE, go to the field just to have a class. Now we are looking at a sports science, somebody in sports science later in the academic ladder, and therefore we are teachers who are in that field already, like our teacher in CAS is a teacher who is graduate in sports science. These are specialists in that area, and therefore they are able to offer, to teach the correct skills which they should be taught. There is no guesswork. We believe, therefore, as the students will be proceeding, they will be well equipped. And every other thing we have done. But most importantly is also the area of working with the parents, so that the parents understand what this all is about. We have taken it as a responsibility to engage them, just as it is a requirement. It is one of the policies, so that they can help us. As at now, we have just finished with selecting of schools, and we have a level of understanding of the system.
Thank you so much, Lukenya. So Lukenya is looking at the teacher. There is need for upskilling of the teachers. There's also need to rethink about our infrastructure in order to achieve success. I then want to interconnect this to Golden Elite to give us what exactly then are they doing with the career guidance department to ensure that this is a success. We had a challenge where one of our principals said the parents completely are not aligned to the current system, and some of them are opposing or resisting change. As Golden Elites, what are you doing with your career guidance department?
Thank you, Madam CEO. Allow me to take this opportunity to thank you for organizing this conference. Golden Elite School is going to be to offer the triple pathways at the senior school. The infrastructure is made, and the teachers who are going to handle them at the senior school will be availed in due time. I want to say this. As we sit down here, let us have some kind of sober minds. We've worked with these learners for the past 9 years. They're just about to be graduated to another level. If we've worked with them for 9 good years, and here we are still struggling, how much are they going to struggle when we hand them over to the national schools who have not tested actually the current CBE? Those teachers have not handled them. At the Golden Elites, we've been privileged that we were even the pilot school, one of the pilot schools, when this curriculum was being implemented, was being piloted. We know the challenges that it has been facing. Just like Vasco da Gama left Portugal when he was looking for the sea route to India. Everyone who goes to Malindi will be shown. This is the Vasco da Gama pillars. Are we going to just dispose the learners that you've nurtured for these many years to other schools? Ask yourself that question. I can see Hon Secretary is here. Madam Rukia is here. Are we going to leave these learners that we've been having for these many years, just to leave them to go to another world? And we must make sure, let us get it real. These national schools that we yearn for is going to be a mixture of two. Because the difference between the grade 10s and the form 3s is just going to be a classroom. These guys are going to be handling the same teachers. Can you tell me that in one lesson, I'm preparing to handle chemistry, form 4, and the next lesson, I'm coming to handle integrated science, I'm a biology, which is connected to CBE, the same teacher. How practical is it going to be? When the rubber meets the road, CBE, CBC had very good intentions. But we, as the people on the ground, if we are not careful, then this group, the pioneers, allow me to say, the guinea pig, which is used as a specimen. For real, these grade 9s have suffered. Did we have materials for them in grade 7? I'm here. Madam is here from NEC, has talked to us about even the SBA. For sure, what we upload in your portal, I'm surprised when you displayed here that you are sure, you are certain, certified that what the curve is near normal. Did we see it, teachers? Did we see the curve from NEC? What was it showing? A normal? Is it the truth on the ground? Which kind of learners are we going to get at the end of year 12, grade 12? Are we really going to have learners that are going to display the competencies, the values, and the attitudes? Are we going to have the principles, the pillars of CBC being portrayed in these learners at the end of year 12? We are seated here as leaders from every institution we come from. Are we sure? Like right now, I'm telling you, there's a shift where people are looking for the certification at the end of year what? 12. Is it a rush on the competencies and the values at the end of year 12? Is it the competencies? Colleague teachers, we want to hand them over to year 10. Are we really satisfied when we sit down? Just have benchmarking yourself. Are we satisfied that the learners we are going to hand over can express themselves?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Asante. I will come back to you. He seems to be very passionate about the Kenyan child and the education system, isn't it? From his points, we note that there is a gap. And this gap is created either by, one of the issues is also concerning policy. But there are also issues that surround us as individuals or as schools. I will take up Mary Joy, a principal from Mary Joy. Like our CEO, Madam Jackie said, sometimes communicating to parents has become a problem, but also the head teachers. In your opinion, in many schools, roles are poorly communicated or undocumented, leading to confusion, which creates a problem that our teacher, Mr. Okoth, has spoken about. What practical steps can leaders take to establish and communicate clearly to the other teachers, parents, and other stakeholders?
Thank you very much, Madam CEO. I also happen to wish to acknowledge work with Madam CEO, who doubles up as also the director of Mombasa County, Kpsa. And under her leadership, I've experienced a lot. Maybe I should begin from a personal note as I approach the question. I used to be a monolinear thinker. I believe you know, somebody who thinks about one line first, then now you can finish the one line of thought. Then now you can come back and start again another line. But currently, as I would say, when I was working maybe at the office of the deanship, I used to think it's a lot of work, but as a principal now, you find you have multiple data, multiple variables to handle. And I've realized that one can become adaptable. So in line with the question that has been asked, first of all, I should say this to all of us, that you are not a leader unless you develop a leader who will make other leaders. Do you agree with that? That you are not a leader unless you develop another leader who is going to develop another leader. And in the education sector, that is our business. And that is what our leadership is about as principals. Now, coming to the question of communications, you see, CBC has come up as a new strong wave to equip our learner with 21st century methods of handling challenges. Can I say this? The kind of challenges 763 would address at those kind of challenges as at the moment, you would find that in the 21st century, the methodologies that were used at that particular time, right now, may not work. Now, 844 was here with us. Then, because the world is dynamic and moving forward, you find the kind of challenges that 844 system was addressing. Now, as at the moment, you will find there are some areas now that 844 is already facing itself out. The world has become very digital. The world is moving fast forward. Come to CBC now, or the new curriculum. Our new curriculum is tailored to cater for the 21st century challenges. I believe we can agree to that. Even in the medical field, for example, I recently visited a dentist, and I would see that there is computerization where everything the doctor is doing is digital. Tell me where in 844 that would really take place. Actually, if you went to the ground, these doctors had to be retrained. Now, when it comes to the issue of communication, I would say that one of the things that we have done as a school so that we can bring on board the parents, the learners, We can bring on board all the stakeholders. There is a lot of collaboration. There must be effective communication of vision and a lot of sensitization with the parents so that you can show them that indeed this chicken that you are buying so that we can go and do a project with the learner is not for the teacher to feast on in the staff room. And of course, the parent should also be aware that definitely we are going to share the meal together with our learners. And on top of that, as we do that because we want credibility and accountability, we bring a parent representative on board, 1, 2 for every other class or every other stream, so that when they come, we take pictures together. Next time parents come for their meetings, they will not say, you ate their chicken. Then, thank you. So now, thank you for the laughter.
Thank you.
It tells me a lot. I know you have gone through challenges with regard to that. Yes, even me, I have a learner in grade 7, and whenever he asks for anything, I just provide. Not because I have more than enough. Let me tell you, because of this learner in CPC, as a parent, I decided to raise chicken so that anytime they raise a chicken, I tell the learner, chase one there, pick a chicken and go with it. Are we together? So we also have to adapt as parents. You have to educate our parents to be adaptable to the system.
Thank you, Mary Joy.
Yes.
Thank you, our principal from Mary Joy.
Yes.
Says he has decided to go an extra mile to keep chicken, to align with the parents. Thank you so much. I'll come back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We noticed from the principal, Mary Joy, he says there is need for partnerships for CBE to be a success. This has been exemplified very well by the government itself, that when we had a thought of CBC, it changed to CBE for a better understanding of the kind of system that we do have. That TSC will be handling learning, KICD will be handling curriculum, and while KICD will handle curriculum, NEC will be handling assessment. At Fesbeth, what partnerships have you come into to ensure that CBE is a success?
Thank you, Madam CEO. I'm Mr. Anyanga, the teacher of Fesbeth Academy. Before I answer your question, let me also take this opportunity to thank all the directors who are here and those who are not here in the absence here, that the noble task that you take to bring up the academies, not only as a source of employment to many Kenyan children, Kenyan youth, or teaching fraternity, but also to help shape the kind of education which is being brought on board. I want to thank you that you took upon you to make sure that the policies that were rolled out in line with the competence-based education now are first implemented in private schools, and therefore giving it a direction. And I want to say that the private sector is far much ahead of the public sector when coming to developing the learner. My fellow principal was elaborating, and I'm very confident that the learner who is coming from the private sector with well-grounded management and administration are going to make it in grade 10 without a problem, so long as they are handed over to good schools. And in line to that, I want to ask our principals also to support transition of our very own to our very own private institutions, because they are very ready. Coming to your question, how at Fesbeth Academy we are managing to bring this kind of education in line. I want to say that from the inception of this curriculum, Fesbeth Academy through the visionary leadership that you have to imagine and use wisdom. You cannot allow the government or the ministry to think for you. You must also anticipate on what will come in front of you. And for those of us who were able to go to the meetings held by NEC, that is Kenya National Examination Council, they raised an alarm earlier that there is no way they are going to take a learner who is approaching expectation to Alliance High School. And that was an indicator that at a certain point, merit will count. And today, the merit is counting when they brought the criteria at which the learners are being taken to, or are taking their pathways to the senior school. We ensure that we work as a team with the Ministry of Education. One, through making sure that we have competent staff. You cannot bring up a wholesome learner without training those teachers or putting them through capacity building. And you cannot just do it through motivational speakers. You have to involve the officers who have been trained by the same national government and are being used to train the public sector. And because God has blessed us with the power of money, we are able to give our teachers seminar up to 5 days away from 2 days being rolled by the government. You can even take it to a full week or 2 weeks if you want the nitty-gritties of the competence-based education to be with your teachers. So number one is training the teachers. But even before you train them, it is very important that as you do the selection, as you do the recruitment of a staff to handle your teachers, you take into consideration that you take the best tire, or you develop policies that will give you the best guide or a teacher in a particular learning area. So number one is to capacity build them. Number two, we make sure that we also visit other schools who are doing the same. You can only praise yourself when you are within your cocoon. But when you move to another school, at least there is something you'll come up with and improve it to make your station better than the other. And finally, I want to say, since we started these seminars of national seminars for the head teachers, I've never missed to come. And I want to encourage our principals, don't miss to come, because through this, it has built our capacity as administrators and even given us focus and eye to see what the government is coming to bring on the table, even before they roll it out. Thank you.
Thank you so much. He speaks of these meetings form part of the partnership that they do use in order to succeed in executing their mandates. Thank you so much, Fesbeth. I want to quickly go to Lukenya. Could you kindly tell us, how prepared are you as Lukenya School? The government will pronounce the fact that it will reopen the system for the children who wish to participate in the selection of private schools to accept or to pick private schools. How prepared is Lukenya Schools, and what pathways do you envision to provide to our children?
Thank you very much. We have our senior schools that are ready. They are ready how? They have been assessed by the government. By end of term 2, by mid-term 2, they had been assessed twice. So they have been certified by the ministry to offer senior education. Two of them. That is two schools. That is on that side. And then I also have with me here in this delegation also two of our community schools that are also offering the same. So it is true, Lukenya schools will be offering. Number two, two of our schools will be offering 3 pathways, and that is on the area where they have been assessed. We have been assessed and certified that we can offer the 3 of them. Now, what is happening currently is the infrastructural development that is required by the 3 pathways. And lastly, it is the capacity building of the teachers that are already there, that are already aligned to the various substrands, the various pathways that will be offering. And the B of the same also is to recruit those teachers that should be teaching in senior school in the areas, in the substrand, I mean in the tracks where same teachers don't exist currently. So we are capacity building those that are there to qualify themselves for the same, to get ready, and those that are not there to be there by the time it is being rolled out next year, January. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So Lukenya School is ready to provide senior school. Why is this question very important? Is because of partnerships. We may have schools around Lukenya or in Nairobi or even in the country that will not be offering senior school. Lukenya has said they are ready to receive your children. Thank you so much, Lukenya. I want to go to Madam Ngugi, Jackline. Yesterday, during our conversation, one of our greatest fear is that our schools may not receive children come January. Scared that the government may take up all the children because they do have the classes or the resources, and the selection and placement will be done by them. In your view, as the CEO of Elyon Edge, what can private schools do to market their schools better in order to receive children come January?
I believe because the government already has been placing senior school students, so from the past. But now the current system now is bringing even private schools have access to senior schools. The good thing about that also is the government has also been able to do an audit of their own public schools that have the capability to do the 3 pathways. And I think a lot of them are feeling in line with the capacity infrastructure in line with that. Also, government resources are very limited. So I believe it's the time for private schools to take an advantage. As a parent and as a CEO, I believe private schools will have a competitive edge in line with infrastructure, providing the 3 pathways to the complete sufficiency of what a parent wants. How does a school position itself? It's the time now to begin communicating what are you doing in line with senior. Because one of the things that you said is a gap is parent understanding in terms of what is this about senior school? What are the opportunities? What's the difference between a private and a public offering senior school? It's time for private schools to begin very aggressive marketing and awareness to parents on what it means for them to provide the 3 pathways, the infrastructures they put in place, and that can only be given by have your social media pages very good and have a very good online presence that you're able to be on people's faces. I've seen McKinney Schools, I think, has already begun and showcasing what are the pathways that they're offering and how they're beginning to showcase the infrastructure. So it's time. January is just like 4 months away. So even if you're setting up the structures in place just to be ready for senior school, what you have right now is to begin communicating right now to the future parents who are coming, what you can give. Yeah.
Thank you. Social media cannot be ignored. That is what Madam Jackie has said. I want to go to Mr. Okoth. At Golden Elite, you have 5 campuses already. How prepared are you as Golden Elite to take up senior school? And what programs do you have in place that will attract the parents to come to your institutions?
We have 5 campuses in Kisumu town, Kisumu city, but only one campus is going to offer a senior school. Right now, the parents of Golden Elites in all the campuses have been informed already of the slots that are there. We've done that individualized parents empowerment where we call them. I'm also the one in charge of facilitating them, of making sure that they understand the CBE. To speak the truth, most of the parents don't understand the system CBE, and most of them rely on us to guide them. You realize that during the time of choosing of the schools by the grade 9s, there was a big problem of the pathways. One of the reasons that led to this is the culture in the society. Some people still believe that if I am a doctor, my child can also be a doctor. And if I am in a certain position in the society, I can let my child pursue a certain pathway, which I believe as a parent, I have an influence, so that at the end of it, my child can easily get employment. But this is what we have demystified at the Golden Elites. That is not what you want, that your child wants. Let the child be the child. Many of us, some of us went to school. We did some courses for our parents. And upon completion, we gave them the certificates and told them, take yours, let me now do mine. Look at what is happening now. At the Golden Elites, every teacher is a counselor. And every teacher is a marketer of his or her subject. I cannot be teaching pre-technical if I cannot advertise to the learner the importance of that pre-technical. I cannot wait until the end of the year or the end of the term to bring a career guide to teach my learners on the career pathways. Yet I am the one on the ground. So if I am lazing around, then the learners will not have the aptitude, the learners will not have the interest to pursue my learning area. In that Golden Elite School, we make sure what Mr. Uma passed here was crucial. If a teacher is not prepared, the teacher will not guide. And if the teacher is not empowered, both economically, allow me to say this, some of us in this place, the teachers are not empowered economically. The teachers are worried about what they're gonna eat, sorry to say this. And a teacher who is not empowered or energized financially will also hardly deliver because the worries are too much on the teacher. So that stability on the teacher will make them to be good guiders. So that is what I want to appreciate. Even my director, the Honorable Chair, that he makes sure that the teachers of Golden Elites are very much catered for so that they are stable to deliver.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Okoth. That the buck stops with the teacher. There is need for proper empowerment of the teacher for him or her to deliver to our children. Our principal, Mary Joy, what is your cutting edge? We have heard from Lukenya School, we have heard from golden elites. Why should directors from Mombasa or coastal region bring children to Mary Joy? What is your cutting edge?
Maybe I should begin from here. For those who've not been to Mary Joy, we are one of the schools that is most equipped, more than even most universities that we've studied in. We have our smart boards, where, or let me call it interactive boards. We have modern laboratories, all in place and working and functioning well. But above all, we also do aggressive marketing through our social media channels. We interact with our parents and learners. We give sound career guidance to our learners. Recently, after doing our grade 10 selection, we encouraged our learners, of course, to pick their best schools. You know, at the end of the day, as one of my colleagues has said, we have to leave the learner to be the learner. We don't force them to pick what they don't want. But one reassurance that I can say as a private school, we have shown them that our school is still home. You know, there are those who want Alliance, Mangu, and in case they cannot find a placement at such a place, our school is more equipped beyond, let me say, Stare in terms of those classroom delivery pointer. Now, with that also, perhaps I should say that we have already also, we are going to offer 2 pathways. We are registered for 2 pathways, and we have really been drumming that on our parents so that they can be aware. And they are centered on science, talk of STEM and social sciences. And we have picked some of those careers that we believe are core. Talk of those who want to do medicine, talk of those who want to do engineering, talk of those who want to do home science, you know, those other applied areas, talk of those who want to do physics. We have those core careers. I'm sure even in future we'll still need medicine, we shall still need doctors, we shall need engineers, we shall need lawyers. So our careers for grade 10 are centered on those core careers, where I'm sure nothing can ever go wrong with that. And lastly but not least, you know, after the selections and all that, the government will come to picking learners for placement in various schools. I'm sure, I'm not a prophet of doom, but I have to say this, that there will be a lot of confusion. And that confusion will bring a lot of clientele to you people in the private sector. I'm sure you can agree with me to that. Because there will be a lot of disappointment, and those learners will come to your schools because of the disappointment that is going to be out there in the public domain. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Our principal has said we do not need to worry. There will be an influx. So many will come to our schools. So as private schools, we are well prepared to receive your children. At Fesbeth, you are so big on co-curricular activities. How have you managed, and how do you use this as an advantage to bring in more students into your institution?
Oh, thank you, madam. That's wonderful. That's nice. Let me say, first of all, that we also at Fesbeth Academy, we are having a senior school. We are offering 3 pathways. And I've been monitoring trends among my parents, and the majority are already creating the list, making it into the list of those who want to take spaces in our institution. So I want to urge all of us that your first market is your school. The grade 9 you have. How are you convincing them to remain? Not by talking, but by what you do. And even exposing them to the facilities you have in the senior school. I think will make you have the front line in selection. Number 2, the CBE has not just come today. It has been a process. And some of these learners, we have worked with them from grade 1, from PP2 to now. The parents have built trust and faith in us. So it would be hard for them to take their learner to unknown land when they have known us. So built that one also. Coming to your question, Madam, when it came to our attention that CBE will call for co-curriculum, we realized that we didn't have one important infrastructure for that, and that is the field. So I had to work under partnership with the public schools to write a letter requesting to use their facility, that is the field. And in that partnership, they asked us to employ for them teachers under board, 2 of them. So every time we send them salary for those teachers, and in return, they allowed us to use the field under that public-private school partnership. I want to say from that time, I called all the teachers and informed them that we are going not to say so and so is the one going to take this particular co-curriculum activity. But I say, can you register your name with what you are good in? And then we call them coaches of those teams with the full package on what they do well. And that there was incentive in terms of appreciation daily if you take your team out, whether it is on training or on friendly matches. And therefore, we built very strong teams that was able to challenge all levels. Last year, Madam, we were able to be the second runners-up in a play at the Nationals. And I want to believe that if we can, I want to ask, in fact, through, and that's why I was saying it is nice for such a question, that we are facing a lot of challenges when we are doing co-curriculum with public sector. And at your desk, Madam, now that we are national, why can't your office organize co-curriculum events from the grassroots to the national and being funded by the schools which are participating, so that we have our own activities, just like public schools, where we are not looked down upon and we are able to develop the talents as required. Thank you.
Thank you so much. He has spoken to what we are currently working on, and we realize the coastal region has already begun with sports. And what we are saying, we will bring them to the national level. We are seeking for partnerships that can help us ensure that our children, once they are done with the national music festivals, so what next, isn't it? If at all they even make it to the national level, what happens next? So we are going to have 2 approaches. First, to take the top teams from the national music, drama, and sports that participated in what the ministry is organizing and advance them to a different competition, expose them to a different level of competition. And secondly, to organize our own internal co-curricular activities. So I'll be seeking your indulgence, schools, on how we can go about it, as long as you're ready to give me the teams. We are surely going to work on it. We already have a subcommittee charged with the mandate to run issues co-curricular. Thank you so much. Parting shot, 30 seconds each. Lukenya School, what are your parting shots?
Very much. I really want to appreciate the organization of these conferences. We have learned, as somebody said, we shouldn't be saying learned a lot, but we have been grown by them. Secondly, it is true there are challenges that each school, as somebody mentioned, they are facing in their own unique way. And we believe that every time we meet, for example, the way we have met government officials here from NEC, from the ministry, all that, we will be able to get answers to those specific challenges. And above all, let me take this opportunity to appreciate principals, because they are the ones trusted by the proprietors to run these schools, And as you've heard from majority of them, the teacher is at the center, and this teacher is grown by the principals.
Thank you.
So a haircut to all the principals.
Asante. Thank you.
So in every chaos, there's always an opportunity. So when it came to COVID, the company that created the masks and the PPT made a wholesome amount, basically during that period, but other people didn't. Same time, even right now, the opportunity that has come that the system has been changed may benefit private schools much more than it may benefit public schools. So positioning yourself to maximize is really important, and how fast you come out, basically, in terms of showcasing what you've got is what is going to position you fast. So those that are able to position themselves early are going to have a very competitive edge later. So as the leaders, as the head of institutions, the principals, the head teachers, it's your responsibility to ensure your teachers are capable. You have positioned your school and created an awareness, whether internally, as they have said, or externally. People are aware that you are really the best senior school for parents to come to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The great writer Pepe Minambo once said, aspire to inspire before you expire. An expired teacher is a dangerous person to the society. Let us not be there. Let us inspire the society, irrespective of the challenges ahead of us. The future is bright.
Thank you. Words of hope. Thank you.
He has reminded me, if you stop inspiring, you start expiring. So the moment you stop inspiring, you start expiring. I want to say thank you to the organizers of this event, because I've learned a lot. I cannot say I know much. Every day is a learning day, and there's always room for improvement, and we are very glad for what has happened here. I should say this, I saw a lot of us being worried about competition. And I think what gives us learners is competition. If you can be very precise about the private schools, and allow me to say this, there is no system of education in the world where there is no categorization of learners and where there is no competition. And that's how we end up getting lawyers, doctors. So there must be a way at the end of the day. So I think all we need to do is to embrace the CBC as it develops and as we go along, so that we can continue to make our centers centers of excellence. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
To my fellow principals, my parting shot is that when much is given, much is expected. Go back and be the teacher.
Thank you. Tupige makofi.